Stacey Bedell,
Sam Barnes,
Courtney Fowler.
It's phenomenal.
Daisy Thomas.
tuned in to the youngest sports reporter in the nation.
Q Boogie.
Boogie Sports.
Yo.
Keep it right here.
What is going on, everybody? It's Q Boogie, podcast 3, and my bracket is gone. I just started off like that. My bracket is gone. It's not that bad. It's about 83%. But what's going on, everybody? Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Some great college basketball happened this weekend. Let's just get right into it. A 1 seed loses to a 16 seed.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. Shout out to the University of Maryland, MBC. Truly amazing what they got done. I really didn't expect it, to be honest. Everybody keeps saying, oh, well, that was an easy one. And I'm sitting there like, but you would never think that a 1 seed would be the 16 seed.
So what two teams play? Because, you know, I'm not a basketball dude.
All right, so Virginia. And University of Maryland, Baltimore.
And the better team is?
Virginia.
Oh, shit. And Maryland beat them.
Yes.
What was the score?
I don't know, but it was like maybe like
I gotta look
10,
that up.
15 points. What's the
Okay.
score there?
No, go ahead. Keep it going.
But so the whole situation. Oh yeah, we have to get into Loyola too.
University of
Maryland, Baltimore. So yeah, they beat them by 20.
Yeah.
So
54-74.
yeah, so that happened too much. I mean, I think we didn't get to speak about Arizona, but Arizona got beat pretty bad too, by 20 points as well. The University of Buffalo, right? So you see in this new college basketball tournament this season that most of the upsets, they're really upsets. It's not like, hey, there's some 1-point games, but these bigger seeds are winning by 20 points.
Yeah.
Easy.
Arizona and Buffalo. Buffalo beat them 89 to 68.
Exactly. Ridiculous. With all those 5-star talents they have over there in Arizona. Obviously, that whole situation with the investigation of the coach and DeAndre Ayton, you know, all that situation, all that stuff probably hurt them in this during the season. But at the end of the day, it's just like, you guys are Arizona. That's Buffalo. I wouldn't say they're a football school or basketball school. I'll say they're a SUNY.
Yeah.
I'll say they're just a SUNY. So, shout out to University of Maryland, Baltimore, man. That's amazing for them. They end up losing to Kansas State, though.
50-43.
Right. So it was close. You know, they made it competitive. I think it's just kind of, will I say it's good for college basketball? I think so. I like to see new teams. I don't like to always see the Dukes and North Carolina, who also lost. Thank you, North Carolina, for ruining my bracket. Insert Jordan emoji.
Okay.
On those guys.
I gotta look for that one.
I mean,
you want Jordan crying?
Yes, I want Jordan crying because he went to North Carolina, and I should be crying. So you can probably put it right on my face. No, I'm just kidding. But so that I'm all for upsets. So I was very, very surprised to see what was going on between Buffalo. You got University of Maryland. You got Chicago Loyola.
Yeah.
They're rolling.
They won by 1 point the other night over in Tennessee.
Yes. And then they had another buzzer beater the game before, which is ridiculous to me.
Miami. They beat Miami.
Which is
62-64.
Now, this is the one that I picked right. So let me pat myself on the back a little bit. I didn't really watch them too much during the season, but based on the lovely ESPN, they said this might be a sleeper team. And I wasn't really too big on Miami.
Okay.
So I had a feeling they were going to win that game. Obviously, it took Miami a lot. It took a lot out of Miami to basically give them the game. They just gave them the game. I mean, missing free throws. I know Lonnie Walker, he's going to be shaking his head because what he did might even drop his draft stock. To be honest,
wow.
playing in a big game.
That's a lot of money.
I think so. I mean, I just think you miss clutch free throws and you lost to 11 seed. That's not pretty. So, wasn't pretty. Then they had another buzzer beater to Tennessee, which was just amazing. And they're talking. I forgot.
63-62.
Right, and they're talking about how they got a little bit of luck on their side. And I think that's amazing. I think it's good for, like I said, for college basketball. So I was excited to see that they were rolling. They were rolling. Sweet 16.
Yes.
So I'm hyped. I'm ready. I'm ready. Now that I'm contemplating on next year, and I know we're thinking next year, but I don't think I want to make a bracket. Because if you really think about it, you feel like, oh, I'm going to make this perfect bracket. I'm going to make like 7 brackets. I'm going to make it perfect, right? And then you sit there and you're not even watching games anymore. You're not even enjoying the excitement of the game. It's like, all you're thinking about is, oh, my bracket's over. I'm done. I'm tired. Man, I had the 1 seed winning and they lost. I'm over that, you know? I want to really sit down and really enjoy the games. Now like I can enjoy it because my bracket isn't perfect and I'm at like 84% or whatever. I still have Kansas winning it all in one of the brackets. So, you know, it's still exciting, but it's not exciting. But now I can really just watch the Sweet 16 and on. I think everybody should do that. So maybe, you know, hashtag stop making brackets and ruining your college experience, because I think we don't get to experience all the great teams in college, and when they are able to upset big teams, we all get like mad, you know.
Right.
So
Nevada, Cincinnati.
yes, this was another killer. Cincinnati, I think just because of the conference that they play in, I was kind of like, maybe I should pick Nevada, so I picked Nevada. So I was
coming through for you right now.
Yep. Yeah, Nevada looks good.
They beat Texas.
My beloved Texas Longhorns, because of Shaka Smart. You know, they had a big loss when they lost their point guard to leukemia. So when that happened, I think the team definitely changed. Nevada, they look good. They're rolling. Sweet 16.
Nice. Xavier, Florida State.
Oh yeah. I don't even.
Is that an upset? I mean, that's kind of like
it kind of is, but it kind of isn't, only because when you think of Florida State, you think athletes, right? You think okay, and you think of Xavier. School. Xavier's always been in the tournament, though. They've always been in the tournament. They've always done well. So for them to be a 1 seed, I don't think they were a true 1 seed. I think them and Virginia might have been the most overrated of the 1 seeds.
Okay,
like you could have given it to somebody else. I didn't think North Carolina was going to lose either.
Okay.
I was a little upset about that because I thought with the coaching of Roy Williams and with them having so many people coming back, Joel Berry, Benson and those boys, like it's just like you would think, okay, they're going to get it together. Eventually they're going to get it together. And it seemed like this just couldn't get it done. So that really hurt me as well. Hurt me.
Gonzaga over Ohio State. Is that really? I mean, Gonzaga has always been doing their thing over the years.
Yes.
You know, I know that
Gonzaga. That's a throwback for anybody that remembers.
So then you got Houston and Michigan.
I was surprised. Houston, Michigan was really supposed to be the dark horse. They were just starting to. They finally hit their mojo. And you would think that with Michigan, they're always in a big game. And with March Madness, in terms of me picking my bracket, I always thought, hey, I really thought, okay, they shouldn't lose to any teams that they shouldn't lose to. And I thought they did all right, though. They beat Houston, but it was just a little too close.
Okay.
So that kind of scared me. But it's also March Madness, and I really think they're starting to hit their mojo. But everybody always needs a a game that's close, right? So you can get the experience. So I'm getting a little shaky on Michigan. I got them, I think, going to the Elite Eight. So
They're gonna play Texas A&M next, though.
right, but you got to remember Texas A&M at the time they weren't even going to be in the tournament. That's how bad they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms
but they
of
was number 7.
they're number 7, but if you think of the SEC, they're probably okay. So you got SEC, quick rundown, Kentucky, you got Alabama. So they're probably, and they're not even the third best. They're probably 4 or 5. So it looked like for a minute they weren't even gonna get in.
Now the next 2 teams, I'm gonna bunch them together. You got Duke and Kentucky winning their games.
Okay, so
but Kentucky should have won.
Well, yes, because they lucked out. Arizona decided not to come to the party.
Right.
But Coach Calipari, I feel bad for him because he's always getting freshmen, and this is probably his worst freshman class in a while. You don't have a John Wall, you don't have an Anthony Davis. I mean, you don't even have the Harrison twins, which were good guards, but they didn't really pan out in the NBA the way they were supposed to.
It was a big win. It was still 20 points.
Yes, I mean when you get Buffalo in the second round, it's really nice. And unfortunately, but fortunately for Duke, they beat Rhode Island. I was excited for Rhode Island. They even beaten a team like Oklahoma. Trae Young, probably before, in the beginning of the season, everybody was saying, "Yo, Trae Young, he's easily the best player."
Right.
And he got into the tournament, and then for them to beat them was probably big for their program. And unfortunately, they lost to Duke. But with those guys like EC and Terrell, they really, and of course Hasi, you can't forget them, but they really put Rhode Island on the map. And they'll be back. They'll be back.
Now you got Michigan over. Actually, I'm sorry, Syracuse over Michigan State.
Well, that zone bothers teams, and Michigan State was the team that was, in my opinion, inconsistent. Like you thought with Bridges coming back, their star player, you thought they would really be above. Obviously, they got a 3 seed, so I understand why people are like, "What? You're crazy." But Syracuse just causes so much problems with that zone. And granted, they only lost by 2 points, but with the talent that Michigan State has, I didn't think that game was supposed to be close. And it seems like in March Madness, if the game, we throw out any recruits, any stars, any coaches, you roll the ball out for about 20 seconds, anything can happen. So buzzer beaters, if the game's close, most likely the team who's the lower seed, the lower seed is probably going to come out with the W. So
Syracuse is New York's team,
right? So
Buffalo could be, but we really rep Syracuse most.
Yes,
right.
Orange man.
Now are they in a way coming back from all those years of struggling?
I think so. I mean, they went pretty far last year as well.
Okay.
So I think Syracuse is always a team that you have to worry about because even though they're struggling, they're always a quality team and they have a quality coach. So when you have those two things, you're always in the mix. Always.
I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go straight to Seton Hall in Kansas.
Oh, yeah, that was a good game. My goodness. I was so scared because I'm like, Kansas is like the only team that I'm really confident about, only because they're a combination of great coaching. They have, I think, great scorers, and probably now he's running for, one of the best college basketball players in Newman. The point guard.
Okay.
So Malik Newman is the off guard. He had a big game. He's the reason why I think they won. He had a couple 5 stars. He went to Michigan State, transferred over to Kansas, and then he did what he's supposed to do. So
now Seton Hall is. I think Seton Hall should have won that game.
No, I agree.
Kansas was the highest seed, but Seton Hall.
It's just look. Shout out to Delgado. He had a double-double. I think he had 23 and 21. 23 points, 21 rebounds. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So I think they played their hearts out. I just think, like I said, now with good coaching, a great team, because they're a great team as well, you might not be able to finish that one. But Seton Hall, with Whitehead leaving, and Seton Hall still having those guys from New York, by the way.
Okay.
They committed to the New York train, and you can see it paying dividends a little bit.
Do we talk about Clemson and Auburn?
I mean,
worth talking about. Should we
not
just
at all. Not at all. I mean,
doing
Auburn. I saw Auburn play against Alabama, who was also eliminated this weekend,
Right.
and I said, Alabama beat Auburn. Really?
Not a good look.
I mean, they can't beat them at football, but they can't beat them at basketball either. And obviously, Alabama's a talented team, but at the end of the day, they just don't have enough. And I thought that was a very alarming loss. So I really wasn't surprised that Clemson beat Auburn.
I mean, Clemson gave them the business. You're talking 30 points.
I know it's 30, but that's how bad Auburn is in terms of the higher teams. I'm not saying they're trash, they're horrible, but when they lost to Alabama, I was kind of like, okay.
So next up, we got Purdue, Butler.
Oh man, Purdue and Butler. Butler's always that team that you're always like worried about. Like they're kind of like always right there, and it's like, well, it's Butler when they made that run with Gordon Hayward, you know, and it's just like you're always worried about him, and they almost caused Purdue some problems.
It was a close game.
It was a close game by 3.
73.
So it's just like with Butler, they're one of those Cinderella teams that are still Cinderella, and they just always seem to stay in the mix and cause team problems. If they don't win, they're making fans hiccup a little bit and worry during the game because it's gonna be close.
Nice.
So
We got Florida, Texas
man,
Tech.
do we have to talk about this? Even though Florida's not
I
my-
mean, we can
Even
move
though
on. This
Flo-
is your show. But
even though Florida's not my basketball team, but I still love
it's your
Florida.
football team. Is it worth talking about? It's not worth talking about. Then let's just move on to Virginia. West Virginia, Marshall, Villanova, Alabama.
All right, so
Which
West
one?
Virginia. All right, so
I mean, they
we'll
both was blowouts. I don't even know if this is even worth talking to.
Well, you know, Colin, like I said, Colin Sexton from Alabama, him going against a juggernaut in Villanova, a team that went to the national championship before. They got a great coach, great point guard, and Jalen Brunson. They're used to playing, the one guy shows. They're playing against Colin Sexton and who else? It seemed like he needed help. He needed help that night, and Petty would have had to play well in order for that team to win in Alabama. So I wasn't really surprised with Villanova. West Virginia, they play too much defense. Marshall, they upset Wichita State. So the situation is that West Virginia is just gonna manhandle, a lot of teams. I personally have them beating Villanova later in the Sweet 16 just because of how great they defend.
Okay, Kansas, Kentucky. Who you got? I mean, it's the obvious, right? But
Kansas State versus Kentucky. I'm gonna go Kentucky. I love Kyler Perry. I love what he does with those freshmen. And to be honest with you, I think they're gonna have an easy road for a very long time in Kentucky. They lucked out with Arizona losing and them getting Buffalo. SUNY school. Unbelievable.
I mean, Loyola and Nevada.
I'm gonna go Loyola only because this team is hot. The team is hot. So, and it seems like they got a little bit of luck on this side.
Texas Tech.
And it's also a 7-11 seed, so it's kind of like they're evenly matched.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're both like right in the middle. So,
right.
By what?
I think it's gonna be by like 4. Like they only won by. It's gonna be another tight game. I don't see them blowing any team out just because I don't think they're that good.
It's coming down to free throws.
It's coming down to free throws again. The last 2 games, what was it? 2 and 1. So I'm gonna say 4. Only because they're unnecessary foul, and they'll shoot 2 free throws. They'll make it.
Texas Tech, Purdue.
Ooh, I'm going with Purdue. Texas Tech is just.
Why? Because Ahmad Anderson is going in now. You got Purdue. You gonna rep? You gonna give him some?
I will give him rep, but Texas A&M is not supposed to be there. If they would have played a better team,
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Texas Tech. Yeah. I'm gonna go Purdue. I was thinking Texas A&M, but I'm gonna go Purdue only because, I just like them.
I think Florida State and Gonzaga. It's gonna be a good game. Who you got?
I'm just gonna go to Gonzaga. I watched them play a lot this year, and I love their team.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I got them by 10, actually.
Gonzaga
by 10.
Okay, you got Kansas over Clemson.
Easily, that's my pick. So easily, I got. I think I might even go Syracuse. I might go Syracuse over Duke, but I'm gonna hit a single. I'm gonna say Duke, and I'm gonna say Michigan over Texas A&M by about 20 points. By 20 points, easily.
I mean, overall, everybody's bracket is busted.
I actually wonder, like, what's the percentage of everybody going perfect right now? Because there's just been so many upsets. So many, like, fine, you probably pick, because in your upset bracket, you'll probably have Texas A&M beating UNC, but I don't think anybody saw Loyola Chicago going this deep. I think the University of Maryland, Baltimore, I think they really, 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 really surprised a lot of people. So with that alone, I think it's breaking a lot of people's brackets. And then with Nevada being Cincinnati, I think that kind of like, all right, time to basically end your bracket and just start watching the games for fun.
Well, I mean, that's the brackets.
Yep. I mean, one last thing. I think we might have to put the UConn girls and the 16 seed at least in the men's, okay? Because it's unbelievable that they played the 16 seed and they beat them by 90 points. I just want to say that now. I watched some of the other competition, and it seems like UConn, granted they didn't win last year, they're going to run away with this national championship because it's not even close. Like, the competition level is not even close. So, Lord.
So, that's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
We can go into the women's bracket. Is there a women's bracket?
UConn.
All the way.
UConn. I won't. I mean, I really don't see them losing. It's just they're beating teams by 40, ranked teams by 30. Like, it's not even close anymore. It's not even. It's like laughable. What was the score of that game?
I'm looking for it now.
What was it? 140-52? Really? 140? 140? Really? Okay. Yeah. I won't even tune in to watch the next game because it's laughable. Notre Dame might give him a little bit of trouble. I was watching the game the other day. They might give him trouble, but it just seems like they're just a machine, and they have something to play for finally because they didn't win last year. It's not like it's going to be their 5th title or something like that. You know.
I mean, do they have an easy bracket? Because I'm looking at some of these teams.
Quinnipiac. I mean, they're not losing to Quinnipiac,
right.
And they're definitely not losing to Duke. So, I don't really.
I mean, even when they go further, you have Buffalo, you have Florida State University.
It's
South Carolina might give them a little shot, but South Carolina's going to meet them in the championship.
The thing about South Carolina, they have people coming back, but they're just a juggernaut,
right?
And with Wilson, their big girl in the middle, I'm just not sure if that's going to be enough.
Right. What about the point
when
guard?
you're putting up 140?
140 is a lot of points.
For a girls' game. Like, look at the other games. 99, 80, 70, 84, 95, 140. Like, the number one seeds aren't even... Really? Like...
I mean, the biggest game is... Okay, Notre Dame 99.
Right. And I watched that game. That game was closer than the score.
98, right.
That game was a little bit closer. So, like, I just think the sad part about women's basketball right now is just it's UConn. Well, just for this year, I think it's UConn and it's everybody else because everybody else is kind of close. Like Texas A&M beat DePaul by 1 point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it seems like that are really, really close. Other teams are beating teams by 10. Seems like UConn's beating teams by 40, 30, 20. Rarely by 20, more like 50. So,
Right. What about Tennessee?
I mean, if Candace Parker was there, if she was still there.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. They lost to Oregon State, so that's a wrap.
Okay. So, boom. There you go.
That's a wrap. So,
there you go.
But I'm proud for the girls because this is a tournament that no one really pays attention to because the guys are playing right now.
Right. And I just hope that I hope somebody gives UConn a run for their money because I think women's college basketball needs to be looked at a little bit more. Because besides UConn, if you look at the other teams, there's some close games. You'll be entertained. I watched North Carolina A&T play their championship game against Hampton, and that was a brawl, man. Those girls are going at it. So just to get into the tournament. So I would definitely tune in. Definitely when it gets a little bit closer. So on that note, it's Q Boogie. That is the college basketball breakdown for the weekend. Peace.
Yeah. It's funny how your role model gets outdated, becomes the old model.